Letting go of control. It sounds terrifying, doesn't it? We all crave a sense of security, a feeling that we can manage our lives and steer them in the direction we choose. But the truth is, the more we try to control everything, the more exhausted and anxious we become. What if we just accepted that not everything is meant to be controlled? What if we embraced uncertainty instead of resisting it? Control is rooted in fear. It's the fear of failure, the fear of making mistakes, the fear of not knowing what's going to happen next. So we plan obsessively, analyze every detail, and hold on tightly to the illusion that we can make life predictable. But no matter how hard we try, life always finds a way to surprise us. Plans change, people change, situations change. And when reality doesn't match our expectations, we feel defeated and overwhelmed. Think about it. How much of your stress comes from trying to control things that are completely out of your hands? How often do you worry about what might happen instead of enjoying what is happening right now? Control gives us a false sense of power, but in reality it's just draining our energy and peace of mind. We often believe that if we let go of control, our lives will fall apart. We fear that without constant planning and managing, everything will collapse. But this mindset only keeps us trapped in a cycle of anxiety and frustration. The truth is, letting go doesn't mean giving up or being careless. It means trusting that life has its own rhythm, and that sometimes the best thing we can do is allow things to unfold naturally. Accepting uncertainty is not about being passive or indifferent. It's about being flexible and adaptable. It's about recognizing that not everything needs to be figured out right now. Sometimes the most profound growth comes from allowing yourself to move with the flow, rather than fighting against it. But how do we do that? How do we learn to trust life when we've been conditioned to believe that control equals safety? It starts with acknowledging that control is an illusion. No matter how much we plan, life remains unpredictable. And that's okay. Embracing this truth gives us the freedom to respond to challenges without feeling overwhelmed by them. Imagine living with a sense of openness and curiosity instead of constant worry. Imagine finding peace in the not knowing, in the possibility that life can surprise you in beautiful ways. Letting go of control means giving yourself permission to experience life without rigid expectations. It means freeing yourself from the exhausting task of managing every outcome, and instead trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way. We can choose to see uncertainty as a threat or as an invitation to grow. We can either remain stuck in fear or open ourselves to new experiences and perspectives. It's not about giving up on our dreams or goals. It's about releasing the need to manipulate every detail. Life is a dance between intention and surrender, and finding that balance brings a profound sense of relief. Letting go of control is not a sign of weakness. It's a courageous decision to live authentically, to embrace the unpredictable nature of existence, and to find strength in flexibility. When we accept that control is just a comforting illusion, we become more resilient, adaptable, and peaceful. Letting go of control doesn't mean abandoning responsibility or giving up on your dreams. It's not about being careless or indifferent to your future. Instead, it's about finding a balance between intention and acceptance, between planning and allowing. It means taking purposeful action while also being open to outcomes that might differ from your expectations. One of the most important steps in letting go is learning to accept that not everything is within your control, and that it's okay. Life is inherently unpredictable, and trying to mold it into a perfectly planned script only leads to stress and frustration. The truth is, uncertainty is not the enemy. It's a fundamental part of being human. Think about it. No matter how much you plan, things rarely go exactly the way you envision. You might map out your career path only to find yourself drawn to something entirely different. You might invest your time and energy into a relationship that doesn't work out despite your best efforts. These moments can feel like failures, but they're not. They're just life unfolding in ways you didn't anticipate. Instead of resisting these unexpected changes, what if you chose to embrace them? What if, rather than seeing them as setbacks, you viewed them as opportunities to grow and learn? It is not about giving up on your goals, but being willing to adjust your path when life takes an unexpected turn. Letting go of control also means being present. We waste so much energy worrying about the future or replaying past mistakes that we forget to experience what is happening right now. Mindfulness is a powerful tool in this journey. When you practice being fully present, you train your mind to focus on the here and now instead of getting lost in endless speculation. One simple mindfulness practice is to observe your breath. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and slowly exhale. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. Notice how your chest rises and falls. As thoughts arise, because they will, acknowledge them without judgment, and gently bring your focus back to your breath. This exercise helps ground you in the present moment, reducing anxiety and quieting your mind. Another helpful strategy is to challenge the need for certainty. Ask yourself, why do I feel the need to control this situation? What am I afraid will happen if I don't? Often the answers reveal deeper fears, like fear of failure, rejection, or losing stability. By acknowledging these fears, you can begin to confront and understand them, rather than letting them dictate your actions. It is also crucial to remember that letting go doesn't mean losing motivation or becoming complacent. It means releasing the desperate need to manipulate every outcome. You can still set goals, work hard, and pursue your passions while accepting that the path might twist and turn. When you're open to change, you become more adaptable and resilient, capable of thriving no matter what life throws at you. Imagine what it would feel like to live without the constant burden of trying to control everything. To feel lighter, more at peace, and free from the weight of unrealistic expectations. Letting go allows you to focus on what truly matters: your well-being, your relationships, and your personal growth. It gives you permission to live authentically and enjoy the journey rather than obsessing over the destination. So, instead of clinging to rigid plans and expectations, give yourself the freedom to breathe, adapt, and flow with life. Allow yourself to experience each moment without the pressure of perfection or certainty. Because real growth doesn't happen in a state of fear and control. It happens when you embrace life as it is, with all its beautiful unpredictability. One of the most liberating aspects of letting go of control is the realization that you don't have to have all the answers. Life doesn't come with a manual, and no one truly knows what the future holds. Trying to predict every outcome or prepare for every possibility is not only exhausting, but also impossible. Accepting that you can always know or plan for everything frees you from the relentless pressure of perfection. Letting go also means giving yourself permission to make mistakes. We often hold on to control because we're terrified of messing up. We fear judgment, criticism, or the feeling of failure. But the truth is, mistakes are part of being human. They're not just inevitable, they're essential for growth and learning. When you stop fearing mistakes, you open yourself up to new experiences and opportunities that you might have otherwise avoided. Think about the people you admire most, those who seem confident, resilient, and at peace. It's not that they never make mistakes or face challenges. It is that they've learned to embrace uncertainty and move forward even when things don't go as planned. They don't let fear of the unknown paralyze them. Instead, they trust themselves to navigate whatever comes their way. Learning to let go is also about releasing the illusion of control over others. How often do we stress ourselves out trying to change people's opinions, actions, or feelings? We believe that if we just say the right words or do the right things, we can make people behave the way we want them to. But the reality is, people are autonomous beings. Their thoughts, emotions, and decisions are their own. Trying to control others is not only futile but also harmful to relationships. It creates tension, resentment, and frustration on both sides. Real connection comes from allowing others to be who they are, without trying to mold them into your expectations. Acceptance fosters trust, while control breeds resistance. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up on communication or expressing your needs. It means sharing your perspective without demanding that others conform to it. It's about creating space for dialogue while respecting that not everything will align perfectly with your desires. When you embrace this mindset, relationships become more harmonious and genuine. Another crucial aspect of letting go is learning to be kind to yourself. We're often our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards and beating ourselves up when we fall short. But self-compassion is key to inner peace. Allow yourself to feel vulnerable without labeling it as weakness. Give yourself the grace to navigate life without having everything figured out. Practicing gratitude is another powerful way to shift your mindset. Instead of fixating on what you can't control or what's going wrong, focus on the aspects of your life that bring you joy and fulfillment. Gratitude grounds you in the present and helps you see that even amid uncertainty, there are moments of beauty and connection worth celebrating. Remember that letting go doesn't happen overnight. It's a continuous practice, a daily choice to release tension and embrace flexibility. You might find yourself slipping back into old patterns of control, and that's okay. The goal is not to be perfect, but to gradually cultivate a mindset of openness and trust. By allowing life to unfold naturally, you create space for new possibilities to emerge. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs happen when you stop trying to force them, and instead let them develop in their own time. Trust that you are capable of handling challenges as they arise, even if they don't go according to plan. Letting go is an act of courage and faith. It is choosing to believe that you are resilient enough to face the unknown without being consumed by it. It is about building a life that isn't dictated by fear, but guided by authenticity and acceptance. And in doing so, you reclaim your peace of mind and find a deeper sense of freedom. Letting go of control ultimately means surrendering to the flow of life. It's about embracing change, uncertainty, and the unknown without being overwhelmed by fear. This doesn't mean that you stop caring or that you become passive. On the contrary, it means you actively choose to focus on what you can influence while releasing the rest. One of the most empowering realizations is that you don't have to force things to happen. When you loosen your grip and allow life to take its course, you often find that solutions come more naturally. Opportunities arise when you're not desperately chasing them. Relationships flourish when you're not trying to mold them into your expectations. Letting go of control is not giving up. It's giving in to the natural rhythm of existence. One practical way to practice letting go is to create a habit of reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to assess your thoughts and feelings. Ask yourself, what am I trying to control that's beyond my influence? How is this affecting my well-being? Identifying these patterns helps you become more aware of where your energy is being drained unnecessarily. Another essential practice is setting intentions without attachment. This means having clear goals and aspirations but not being rigid about how they manifest. For example, instead of insisting that a project must succeed in a specific way, be open to unexpected paths that might lead to the same outcome, or even something better. Intention without attachment allows for flexibility and creativity, reducing stress and disappointment when things don't go as planned. Learning to let go also involves reframing failure. Often, our desire for control comes from a deep-seated fear of failing. We believe that if we can just manage every detail, we'll avoid mistakes and disappointments. But failure is not something to be feared. It's a natural part of growth. The most successful people are not those who never fail, but those who learn to navigate failure with resilience and curiosity. Think of failure as a teacher rather than an enemy. What did it show you about your strengths and weaknesses? How can you use that lesson to move forward differently? By embracing failure as a part of the journey, you strip it of its power to intimidate you. You become less afraid of taking risks, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you'll find a way to grow from it. Letting go also means embracing vulnerability. It means allowing yourself to be imperfect, to not have all the answers, and to show up as your authentic self. Vulnerability fosters connection and builds genuine relationships because it shows others that you're human, just like them. When you drop the facade of having everything under control, you create space for deeper, more meaningful interactions. And finally, remember to practice forgiveness, both towards yourself and others. Forgiveness is a powerful way to release control because it acknowledges that holding on to resentment only burdens you. Letting go of grudges and past hurts allows you to move forward without the weight of bitterness. It doesn't mean you forget or condone harmful actions, but it means you choose not to let them dictate your happiness. As you continue on this journey of letting go, be gentle with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight, and old habits may resurface. That's perfectly okay. Celebrate the small victories and practice self-compassion when setbacks occur. Letting go is a process, a lifelong practice that becomes easier with time and intention. When you choose to let go of control, you make room for peace, joy, and spontaneity. You learn to dance with life rather than fighting against it. You open yourself to experiences that you might have missed if you were too busy trying to make everything perfect. Trust in your ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow. The art of letting go is not about giving up. It's about freeing yourself from the illusion that you must control every aspect of your journey. It's about finding strength in surrender and beauty in uncertainty. When you embrace life's unpredictability, you discover a deeper sense of freedom and inner peace. And remember, the most beautiful moments often happen when you were not trying to control them. When you simply let life unfold and meet it with openness and grace. Choose to let go and watch how life transforms in unexpected and wonderful ways.